Departments have announced financial support for businesses struggling with the COVID-19 lockdown. In the Western Cape, a tool for businesses called the COVID-19 Support Finder has been developed by the provincial and city governments and Wesgro. Now, the tool asks the user 5 easy questions, ranks the answers against predetermined criteria, and provides a list of relief measures the business may be applicable for. Explaining this further to us, we're joined via Skype by the Wesgro CEO, Tim Harris. Tim, great to see you. Thanks for being our guest.
It's my pleasure.
So we understand that the service is for all businesses and not just limited to the Western Cape. Perhaps explain that to us.
Yes, so Wesgro is the tourism and economic promotion agency for Cape Town and the Western Cape. But the truth is, Leanne, this is actually a global crisis, and every business in South Africa is going through a very similar reality. And even though these times are unprecedented, we do know something about dealing with crisis, particularly in the Western Cape. You remember 3 years ago we went through day zero around the drought, and essentially the playbook that we rolled out then as the province of the Western Cape, as the city of Cape Town, and as the agencies like Wesgro working in the space between government and business, is a very similar playbook that we're rolling out now for business in the Cape. But the truth is it's very applicable to business right across South Africa. Yeah. And essentially it begins with helping business understand what's going on. So this center we created, the COVID Content Center, spent the last 2 weeks sifting through the regulations as they changed hour by hour and making sure that business understood exactly what the rules were as the crisis developed and as the lockdown fell into place. The next step is this COVID Support Finder, which helps clarify the support that's eligible to your business.
So it goes without say that we as a program have been inundated with requests on how businesses can access relief packages. I can only imagine how you've been inundated with the request for the relief package. So perhaps you can tell us a little bit more about the criteria for this COVID-19 Support Finder and how it actually works.
Okay, well, the great thing is there really aren't any criteria. The tool is available online at www.supportbusiness.co.za. That's the site that we've created between the city of Cape Town and the province of the Western Cape. It's got about 30 people that are dedicated to running that site. Many of them come from the team at Wesgro, but there's other agencies involved, there's city people involved, provincial people involved, and they're working together to respond to what business needs. And it turns out there's quite a lot of support from different elements of government and the private sector. You saw early on the Rupert family and the Oppenheimer family putting significant funds into supporting business, as has Naspers now and the Motsepe family. But also many different government departments and entities have also structured packages to support business. As you say, it's sometimes difficult to understand which pieces are relevant to your business. So what we did is we thought most businesses are very time stretched right now. They're working hard to navigate the lockdown and trying to survive. So we need a tool that makes it very, very simple for them to sift through those support measures. It takes about 2 minutes, Leanne, to complete the survey. There's only 5 questions. They ask about the size of your business, the number of your employees, your turnover, what sector you're in, and then also which part of the country you're in. Because as you said, we're a Western Cape provincial government agency, but the truth is we're getting questions from all across the country, and we want to help business right across the country. Yeah. Once you fill in those questions, after about 2 minutes, it spits out a list of support packages that could be eligible for you. And then it opens up the details of those packages, how you can apply for them, and links you to the application page. So hopefully that's really going to streamline the support, whether it comes from government or business.
I mean, this is actually quite incredible. I'm sitting and going through it on my phone at the moment, and it's very simple, very easy questions that you're asking of what people actually need, whether it's working capital, a soft loan, guidance regarding employees, etc., etc. And then once you get that, you get through to a different level, which I haven't gotten through to yet, but I can imagine that that's where it'll give you the different options that are available to you. Now, you say that your site's already had over 12,000 visitors, and you've helped 800 people with with direct inquiries. What are the major concerns that you've seen coming through already through these inquiries?
Well, actually, Leanne, since those numbers, we've actually picked up even more. We've now up to 22,000 visitors to the site, and it only launched 2 weeks ago. So there's clearly a lot of demand from business for support. That tool that you're busy going through now, it was only launched on Thursday, and already 2,500 businesses have gone through that process. So I think that's an indication of just how serious this crisis is for business. As I said earlier, support is one thing, and being able to tap into particularly financial support. This is a huge priority for many of the businesses that are making contact with us. But the other thing is navigating the regulatory environment. I mean, we're still in a situation where the regulations around the lockdown are changing every couple of days. But certainly over the last 2 weeks, there have been periods where hour by hour the regulations have changed. And so that's why a big part of the site is our frequently asked questions section. There's 150 frequently asked questions with the answers to those questions that are live for today. That's a really important part of this as well, because many businesses are trying to understand how they can keep going, what they are allowed to do in lockdown. And the regulatory space has been evolving quickly. The FAQs are a way of clarifying what they are and aren't allowed to do in the lockdown and how they can adapt their business to this reality. Then, of course, there's the question of best practice. What are companies doing to navigate this, to adapt to the lockdown, and to keep their business going and keep their employees employed at this time? So there's about 40 examples on the site of best practice from South Africa and from around the world on how your business can transition during the lockdown and hopefully survive this very difficult period. So I hope it's a comprehensive view for most, particularly small businesses, to understand what they should be prioritizing in these days.
Tim, where does your funding come from? I mean, if people, because I see that there is a section where people, if they ask for loans, and obviously this will be a loan that needs to be paid back, but as you say on the website, a low interest rate. Your funding, where does that all come from?
Right, so Wesgro is about 40 years old. We're a provincial government agency. Our majority of our funding comes from the province of the Western Cape through the Department of Economic Development and Tourism. So that's led by MEC David Mania. And then the rest of it comes from the city of Cape Town, from James Foss in the Department of Enterprise and Investment. So we represent a collaborative effort on business engagement in the economic space between the city of Cape Town and the province of the Western Cape. But of course, for this crisis, we're definitely all in it together as South Africans. And that's why this tool is being built for business right across South Africa. I hope in some ways the Western Cape is able to show how companies across South Africa can navigate this crisis. And we're all looking forward to the day when we recover from the crisis and we get our economy going again and hopefully add some of the jobs that we've lost in these weeks. And that's certainly something that I know the city and the province in the Cape, together with agencies like Wesgro, will be focused on.
All right, Tim, thanks so much for talking to us here on the program. Great initiative from Wesgro. Just remind me of that website again. I know it was supportbusiness.co.za.
So it's www.supportbusiness.co.za.
Excellent.
And Leanne, if there's anything on there that isn't up to date or isn't clear, if there's more clarity required, we also have an email hotline, which is supportbusiness@wesgro.co.za. And if you mail that address, you'll get bespoke assistance for whatever you require as a business going through this crisis.
Fantastic, Tim. Thanks so much for your help and for talking to us here on the program. Let's take a quick break. When we return, we're going to be taking a couple of your calls because I know that there's lots that's come up during the course of the program. Also, our question of the day, whatever's really on your mind. We're looking forward to hearing from you. Stay tuned.